I just want to say today I'm here with Ruqxana, and we are in Singapore to taking a cooking class. Actually, it's the first time I have a cooking class in Asia. You are my first teacher.
I think you've done many classes before.
I did something in Italy, but not with the purpose of school. It was just a guy teaching, just private, but not some professional like today for me. But you introduced me.
Well, it's not so professional here, is it? It's my home. It's not a school. It's just in my home.
I think this is the plus, because you feel like you are in an academy. I mean, my feeling was like academy, because ingredients were ready when you arrive, and you have a clear instruction, and all the steps are well supervised. So it's professional. I mean, even if you're not familiar with spoon, knife, and garlic, it's fantastic. So in my case, my curiosity was when in your life, when you realize, the first day that you realize maybe I'm good doing something, just by chance, you were cooking by chance, the really first time you thought, oh, I can do something.
Maybe I was like, I think I first discovered it was good maybe about when I was 6-7 years old. I cannot remember, because I created my own little dish all by myself.
And what was the dish?
It was a simple dish. It was jelly, you know jelly?
Jelly?
Jello, jelly.
Oh, okay.
So it was just jelly.
Sweet stuff?
Yeah, sweet stuff. So I don't remember the color exactly, but it was jelly which comes in a packet. So you just pour hot water and make it, but there are two parts to it. So one part is just the jelly, another part you mix it with milk.
Yes. But you invented it,
No,
or you watched somewhere?
No. From young, I was collecting recipes.
That's already something.
So before I started cooking, I actually started collecting recipes. So I have a collection of recipes. So as a young child, I was looking at all the recipes.
Kind of your personal
I still have
notebook
it.
with
I still have it. I still have it.
Wow. So mix of a bunch of things.
My mother used to buy a milk, and behind the milk there used to be a recipe. So she would remove the milk, the label, and she would give it to me.
Wow.
And I used to keep it. As a child, I used to look at the picture, and I used to be fascinated by the pictures. I couldn't read.
So graphic at the time was
So it was looking at the pictures, and then I had no idea, because I couldn't really understand English properly then. I mean, it was a child, right? I was still young. I mean, it's too complex to understand. Then I was able to understand slowly, and the simple one was the jello. So I made that, and I was very proud, because it was a glass like this, and half of it is like light green, another one is green but milky green, and it's at an angle. And it was done. So to me, it was such a complex thing, and such a challenge, because first you do this, and how do you make it slanting? So in the fridge, you have to put it slanting like that, so it sets that way. And after it sets, the second part. So that was 12. It was 2 layers. It was 2 to 3 different. And to me, that was like my first thing I ever did.
So you clearly linked to that moment.
That was clearly that was my moment. That was my first moment, and after that I got something else which is even more complex that I'm really proud of. It's called Swiss Roost cake. Yes,
the next level.
So I know it's again sweet, but it was cake, again jello, 2 layers, and I thought it was beautiful, and everybody was fascinated by it. And after that, it went on to other things, but those 2 are my moment in life for something I created.
This impresses me, because when people at the beginning of something want to learn guitar, learn piano, learn whatever, they are scared about the beginning. But I understand there's children's step. You start with a small thing, and then you add on something, and it comes naturally.
Scared of something. Do you know there was no fear? I don't think there was any fear. I don't remember it being fear. To me, it was wanting to do it. So there was no fear.
No fear.
It was just wanting to do it, trying it out.
Graphic colors.
I like I said, I still have my recipe books. I still have it's a scrapbook. So when in school, people would collect posters of Donny Osmond and David Cassidy and Michael Jackson.
So singer, pop stars.
I had a scrapbook of recipes.
Oh, that's amazing. It's like, that is an exception. That's for sure more clear to me.
Yeah. So it was just a natural thing. I didn't think about it. There was no thought behind it. It was just a natural thing. And every time I see a recipe, I would collect it. I would keep newspaper cuttings, magazine cuttings. So in the in the old days, there were no plastic bags. So everything, groceries bags were made using recycled magazines. So you have the grocery bag.
Yes.
So sometimes, we would get groceries bag and you open it and you see recipe. So you take it out and I would keep it. See, I didn't come from a
kind of handicrafted.
Yeah, I came from a family that we were not rich. So we couldn't afford to buy books and fancy things. So these were things that were like behind the can. I couldn't afford to buy any recipe. I didn't have money to buy recipe book.
Oh, I think that when you have some boundaries, you develop some.
Yeah. So it was just something, and I like I said, there was one time there was a recipe booklet that was part of the whole grocery bag. I was like, oh my god, whole book.
So interesting.
I actually got a whole book.
Wow, so nice story. Because I can see passion clearly in that story. But as every journey, I can imagine sometimes you can be tired and one day say, okay, I'm tired of this, or you always keep constant growing passion. You never had a
I had a
moment
period.
when
I had a moment when I did not cook.
Oh.
I had a moment. See,
where you really say stop for a while?
Because I come from an Indian family and we are quite traditional. So growing up, I had one brother, so it's just me and my brother. Mm-hmm. So my brother was not expected to do any housework.
This is kind of old tradition.
Yeah, so he didn't have to help in the kitchen. He didn't have to do housework. I had to do housework. I had to, do kitchen work. And I was very angry.
So one day
I was very angry. It was just one day I had it and I said, I'm not doing this anymore. So I actually stopped cooking for a period. I just refused to do it.
There's kind of reaction from this situation.
Just like reaction against sexism. Because women are meant to cook, right? Yeah. And the traditional women are
in Italy used to be the same for a long time.
In many parts of the world. So even though I loved it, I felt, oh my god, I love something that is lean towards like women are supposed to do this. So I was very angry. I stopped.
Okay, this is a kind of natural reaction. I understand. So what was the reason to come back?
I don't remember.
Okay,
I cannot remember. Honestly, cannot remember.
Because you cannot suffocate passion. Maybe.
Yeah, I came back, but it was funny. I just refused to cook for anything. Because I used to cook for family and friends. People invite people for dinner. From a young age, I used to cook.
Well, I think some people was very disappointed.
I don't remember all that. I cannot remember they were disappointed. I don't remember all that. But it was nothing to do with them. It was to do with me. It was my journey. What people think is a different story.
You remember in that period if you balance this lack of activity with some other hobby or something else, or just empty, idle for a while?
I don't know, I was never idle. I never one of those people. I always had things to do. I was even though I wasn't good in sports, I was playing sports. Not good, but playing sports.
Can I ask which one?
Oh, I've done so. I played tennis very bad in tennis. Played softball very bad in softball. What else did I do? Netball very bad in netball. I'm not a sports person.
Okay, you didn't feel is your way.
I wasn't good at it. I tried, but I wasn't good. But I still played.
You took lessons?
I was in a team, in a school team. So I was in a team, so I was always in the reserve, sit in the corner.
Okay, I know what that's feeling.
Yeah, but it's okay.
I played soccer for a while, but in the reserve.
But it's okay. I enjoyed being in the group. So I was part of engineering society. I used to be part of many photography club. So I think I enjoyed being in the process of a club.
Yeah.
So I wasn't a good photographer, but I was in the committee member. I was secretary of the photography club.
You have an important role in that thing.
I love the organizing thing. So I think I was there because I loved it.
Project management.
Yeah, I like that. So it didn't matter whether I was a good photographer. That was not important. It was the fact that I organized events.
Can I see that? I can see in your preparation your. Let's say good order, good planning, good sequence. Engineering. That's kind. I think I'm engineer too, as I mentioned, and I think even if we want or not, we consciously act
that's
sometimes
my engineering background. Steps. Production line.
I made risotto for friends just a few days ago, and when they arrived in Italy, in Milan, and when they arrived, I made the risotto. One risotto I like to do is Chianti risotto, the red wine Chianti, with sausage and radicchio, the red salad, the bitter salad. It's close to Venice. This special salad, radicchio, It's bitter and it is to balance bitter and oily of sausage with the red wine Chianti. I made the risotto and I prepare like you did, garlic, onion, things just before start. When they arrive, say, oh come on, this is a class. No, don't worry, sit down, drink something and let me work.
Yeah.
I know, I understand.
But I like it. I like
I like
that organizing and like you did just now. I like to put things in order, you know, and like when you put your tofu, I like that whole clean neat thing, and then you cook.
I don't know if it's what you say, but also the dish you use, it's important in the preparation. If I put that ingredient in that pot, and it makes the difference to me. And there is a dish in your career that when you did, you say, that's my masterpiece, that's my best ever, that's my something unforgettable, that's wow, you want to try something yourself.
Yeah, I've done it before.
Maybe one or two like.
One was an Ethiopian curry and I was so proud of it. It came out so good. Ethiopian, as in Ethiopian curry.
So you learn from.
No, I know, I went online, I checked. So also, that's what I do. So if let's say I have a group of friends and we do potluck. And I think it was Ethiopian night or something. So we all had to do some Ethiopian dish. So I went and researched this chicken curry, and I'm kind of an extremist. So I went and looked, and I tried and find as many recipes as possible. I looked at every one of them to see what I think works. Mix and match. Then I come up with a dish because I just want the best.
I understand. Yeah? I can feel that.
So that came out pretty good because I did everything from scratch. I made clarified butter
and you have a kind of paper notes with you always that you write down.
I don't. That's my problem. I should, then I forget. You're right. I do tend to forget. I should write it down, but I don't.
Okay, so you would like maybe to have with you these things?
I mean, no. For the if let's say I'm researching, of course I write notes. But you're right about when you go outside inspiration, I should have a book. I don't do that. But when I'm researching, yes, I print everything out, then write things down and just get things going.
More spontaneous.
Yeah, so there's a lot of research. Research is very important.
Yeah, the preparation. I mean, I don't know you, but when I was on YouTube or something, I check many and I compare. I try to see if there are common parts before trying to. I mean, it's
I do that. I find things. But I also like tradition. I mean, I'm both traditionalist. I'm also like new take to it. So I'm very into looking for very old recipes. But I also get excited if somebody takes something old and turns it something new. So everything is exciting, you know. Don't stick to just one.
Can I ask you? I mean, because I don't have a class, but some friends I can cook, and I think eyes don't lie. You can always understand if your guest like or not what you cook. I mean, you can understand from even they say, "Oh, beautiful, fantastic," but
yeah, you can.
You
something
can,
it's an instinct. Yes, you can tell. You can tell, which is fine. It doesn't matter because we don't like everything. There are many things I don't like. You cannot make everybody happy, no? You cannot make everything. I mean, I don't like peanut butter. I have no idea why. A lot of people love peanut butter. Okay. You know, it's just not
follow my way.
Yeah, it's okay. You like it, it's fine. I don't like it, it's okay. So I tell people in my class, if what you have done today, if you don't like something, it's okay to say I don't like it. I will not be offended. Because,
I see.
So I tell them it's okay not to like it. Perfect, alright. So sometimes they are brave and they say I don't like it. It's okay. And I ask them, what is it you don't like? Oh, I don't like this. Then next time, don't do this, change it around.
So you collect some feedback.
Yeah, but again, it's very personal. So so that dish is sometimes not the problem of the dish. If everybody does not like the dish, then it's a problem with the dish.
I agree.
But if one person doesn't, then if that person's taste bud is different. You know, it's like hot bitter sweet. So I love things sour. I like to make things sour. You know, it's just that. I mean, there are people who like it sweet. Today, the two girls, they like things. They kept adding sugar. They like things a bit sweeter, so they make theirs a bit sweeter.
Sure. But yeah, you cannot match with everyone's preference.
But it's fine. It's a learning class. To me, you're here to learn. So today, if you think, I asked them, what do you think? If you don't like it too hot, next time add less chili. You want
but I noticed that during the lesson, you many times during preparation, you'd say, hey, check with the spoon and say you have to add salt or something. I noticed that you did many times.
The most important thing when you cook something is to taste your food.
I see. see.
Do not leave it to chance. Do not leave it to recipes because it's never the same. Your garlic is never the same. Your onion is never the same. Your chili is never the same. It's never the same. You don't know. See, there are so many little factors that come in.
And it's too late when you realize that.
So always start with less. Less sugar, less salt, less.
Yes.
Then build up.
That's a big suggestion for people.
Everything.
Less with starting with less and
you can make it sweeter. You can make it hotter. You
you're always in time later.
It's saltier.
Wow, I agree.
You can't go down.
But I'm very curious. I mean, I see you're hardworking here, so you also sometimes maybe not stressed, but you are in many things. So when you have free time and you decide to go restaurant, Ruqxana, where go? In which restaurant to be served? Like
I try
queen.
because I teach so much of Asian food. Then I try to go to a non-Asian food.
Sure.
I mean, that's my first choice.
Opposite attraction.
First choice. But I still go to Asian food. Please don't think I don't. I do.
Sure.
But it's my first choice, and I do love Mediterranean food. So my first choice will be Mediterranean food.
Mediterranean.
I like
Mediterranean flavor in general.
Because I find the flavors softer. The main ingredients doesn't overpower the spices and the herbs. I feel that.
Any favorite?
I'm a pasta fan. I'm a pasta fan. I love pasta. My favorite is pasta with a basil pesto.
So it's a pesto, sure.
But I change it around a little bit. So my pesto has got a little bit of green chili. I customize it. I get green chili inside.
Oh, I never
imagined
to
it's
make
pine nuts, green chili, garlic. I pound it by hand. Then I put basil. Today my basils have died. I actually have Italian basil growing, but today it died. Pound the basil. Parmigiano Reggiano, which I have from Italy.
Oh yes, really.
Good one, old one, really good one.
Oh, wow.
Salt, black pepper, which I dry roast and hand pound. So and of course olive oil, also good olive
Extra virgin olive oil.
Good olive oil from Italy also.
Wow.
So I mix it up. So I change it around a little bit by putting that. Then sometimes I also do things. So sometimes I make the pasta. In the pasta, I do things like my taught ginger flour. My secret ingredient would be like taught ginger flour. So everybody will eat like, what is that? What is that flavor? And I'm like, yeah, it's a ginger flour. Something different, something just a little bit, just to put like you go, something different.
Just to make people, audience,
yeah,
curious.
A little bit, just something different, yeah. And the pesto. Then the pesto I can put sometimes. Say if I don't have pine nuts, and I put almonds. I put
very flexible.
Very flexible. Pistachio.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, cashew nut. Then the herb also can be different. Herbs I can do coriander.
Okay.
Sometimes I do local herbs. I do like local basil.
Wow.
So basil, laksa leaf. So I do an Asian version of like the pesto. Just whatever is in the fridge, whatever I feel like it.
Super.
So it all depends. Sometimes, you just like, if you're cooking for yourself, open the fridge. What is inside? Look at the garden, what's out there.
I really like because it sounds something. I'm allergic to the plant, to plant too much early things, and sounds very natural. Comes up according to the feeling of the moment.
Yeah.
I like this emotion, and I also agree with you, as you said, we cannot match with everybody's preference. So I study wine. My mom a few years ago recommended me study sommelier, so I went for sommelier class at 3 years. Actually,
you did 3 years? Full time?
Full graduation official, so it makes mom happy because we grow up in a vineyard hillside. So, and in that field, it's easy to find people saying that they found amazing retro taste. But at the end of the day, it's enough that you have the throat age or you have some cold, and your perception of wine is different. So what I feel is not what you feel. Maybe you feel berries, I feel banana, feel... And I feel in the dish is the same. You cannot exactly...
Yeah, you don't know. Everybody is different. Everyone's taste is different.
According to their culture,
culture, very important. Culture is so important because I have people from all over the world. And I know the different cultures.
You try all countries. And
I know the countries. I know if you come from the Philippines, they like it certain way. They like it sweet and salty.
Okay.
Filipinos.
Sure. You have to adapt a little bit.
Then you come from a certain country, like you come from Europe, a lot of them don't like too salty. Depending where, like Germany, they don't like it too salty. They don't like ginger, it's very strange. But it's their culture. We don't like ginger, it's fine. Yeah, so it also depends. And some people will not even touch chili. Okay. So sometimes I have to cook, I have to remove the chili. So there's no chili.
Sure, I can imagine some intolerance as well.
Yeah, it's just... I tell them it's fine. I say it's okay, no judgment. And then sometimes people feel bad. They go, oh, I don't like it too hot. I'm so sorry. I said, we don't apologize. No need to apologize that you don't like it.
No, it's part of the game, of the... So, sugar calm down. And one thing I learned today, sugar effect calm down the
chili. When something is too hot, you just put a bit of sweetener and the heat goes down.
Oh, that's another brilliant remark. And actually, there is in your experience some, I don't want to generalize by country, but there are some class with some country that are more clever, more attentive, more proactive, and someone maybe you need to involve more. You see some difference?
No, not. It's not based on country or culture. It's just people.
People, purely people.
And sometimes when they come in a group of friends, then that one is not easy because they are friends. So they're all talking already, talk. They're talking. So they're paying more than talking than the cooking. So usually I notice when they come in a group of friends, because I mean I do it. I'm also guilty of that.
Sure.
I'm guilty of that. If I've done things and with a group of friends, you tend to talk with your friends and pay less attention to what's out there.
I understand. Even if they're Italian group, could be even more noisy. But you don't.
Italians like, it is people. You're right. Culture does play a part in the way they behave, because it's just the way they're brought up. But at the end of the day, it's the people.
Yeah, people. So that's important. Even we have multicultural awareness. Anyhow, it's up to everyone. So we cannot generalize that. I totally agree with that. And I mean, there is a. You told me that there was some TV show that came here and film up, and how you felt. Just you were natural. You told me that you didn't feel any stress.
I've been doing this. I've been teaching for 18 years now.
18.
8 years. Doing this 18, and over the 18 years, I have done a lot of TV shows, a lot of interviews, So it's been a while, you know what I mean? So it's not new for me.
It's not new.
It's not new for me, so it's nothing. And also because I'm confident.
You're not a mask. You are yourself.
Yeah, and also cooking is not something new. It's not. I'm not afraid. It's not like, oh no, it's fine. And I've made mistakes on the show before. It's just like, I'm sorry, it was wrong. I don't know why it's not working. I have no idea.
No, I think it became more real. That's why people.
I messed up before, but it's fine. I mean, I make mistakes. I make lots of mistakes.
I will maybe include a link of some of these video in my record, so people can watch also some real, because I didn't film, but I was really interested to learn more about your experience as well. So, and I want to share with Italy. And if there is, I'm thinking, if there is tomorrow a lady, a guy like you that decide somewhere in a corner of the world to start, what is a big advice you can give to this guy, this lady, when she decides to start cooking or to start having a class cooking? There is some special.
Two different, completely different. You want to do restaurants, so the restaurant thing, I cannot give advice because I've never had a restaurant before. In fact, you are better off because your mother has a cafe. So you are a better person to give advice, not me. So I don't know that, and I also don't want to do that. Honestly, I don't want to start a restaurant. I don't want to start a cafe because it's a very stressful job.
It's stressful. It's another planet. I mean,
it's very expensive. Also, you need money to start. I don't know about Italy, but in Singapore, you need a lot of money, capital to start. And there's a big risk that it will fail. So if you start, let's say it's going to cost you, let's say 500,000. You should be willing to let go of the 500,000 when you start, because you can very likely lose it. So to start
I think
means,
you are stressed.
Yeah. So to be able to start a restaurant, first of all, it means you can let go of that money. You are in a position to say, I'm willing to lose the money.
Sure.
You cannot lose the money. You cannot do it because it's not a gamble. You cannot gamble with your money. All right. So that's one thing. Secondly, it's hard work. It's not that I'm afraid of hard work. I do work hard, but you don't really have a life, I feel. I'm sorry to say that, but I know these people who are restaurant, they're always in a restaurant, working. They have no off days, Monday off, Sunday when all their friends are off, you're working. You know what I mean? And then you can't really interact with your customers. You're at the back.
Yeah.
I know some of the chefs can, the ones who are in a position where everybody's taking care of, then they can come out and talk. You're not in a position to come and talk to your customers or your clients.
Yes. Because customer is the king, and maybe you have an owner as well, and you are in between.
Because you have to work. There are some chefs who have gone beyond that, and they have a wonderful life. That's good
and
for them.
And they are genius.
So there are people, and they've managed to organize their lives, so I'm good for them. But I feel this is fun because I get to teach. I like teaching. I enjoy teaching.
I can see.
I enjoy teaching. So I get to teach. I get to interact with people. I sit down. I talk to them, and I like being in my home. So it's my home. I'm relaxed.
So you feel comfortable.
Yeah, and I've got my cats. I love my cats. I can go hug my cats while I feel. Even half the class, I can go see my cat and pet my cat. So I love being in my home. So it's different. So now cooking this, it depends. Who you use your audience? You want locals or you want foreigners?
That's another point.
What do you want to teach?
You want to teach, for example, in Italy, you want to teach Italian or foreigners? Or
Yeah.
This makes the difference.
Because based on that...
You start for Singaporean?
No, I started from the beginning.
And which is the skill that, I think patience, which is the biggest skill that a teacher can have, like I think in a school.
You must have, your thought flow must be clear. You must be organized. Okay, the word is organized because for a cooking class, you first of all need to know how it flows. You need to have everything organized. If you're not organized, you cannot run the class. So everything has to be done. All the prep work must be done ahead of time. You must make sure everything is there, and then it flows. So it must be well
Once
thought.
you have the good starting preparation.
Yeah, you must know. So even you like doing a pasta dish, for example. So what's the flow? You must know the flow of the pasta. Oh, there is butter, there is garlic. Garlic must be minced, so butter, garlic. Everything has to be done, and then you're fine.
That's fantastic. We talk about normal people. If you can choose you call like genius in Aladdin, yeah? Now there is Aladdin. No, there was, but. And you can wish, I want in my class 1, 2 or 3 famous VIP person. Who would you like to teach? There is some actor, singer, politician, or some other famous people you would like to...
Jamie Oliver.
Oh!
I like him.
Okay, why?
I don't know, I just like him.
It is just one of your...
It's one of my... I like him. I like his energy. I like his philosophy. He's genuine, I feel.
So it should be nice, a session exchanging.
Jamie Oliver would be nice.
Okay, I would like that too. I would like
Well, I got my wow moment.
Wow
moment. That's how I started this. It was in Japan, in Tokyo, 22 years ago, maybe.
You had a wow.
I had a wow moment in Tokyo when I went there. I didn't want to go. A friend of mine that I was staying with in Tokyo said, "Let's do a cooking class today." I booked one. For us.
Japanese cooking class.
Japanese cooking class. So this friend of mine, Sangeeta, Singaporean, living in Tokyo. I always tell her, "You are my C." She was my C. So we went. So she said, "Hey, let's do a cooking." I like, what? I've never in my life. I've done cooking classes in school as part of the curriculum.
Okay.
We have
In
home
the school,
economics.
so mandatory.
But never ever gone for it. Actually, my first cooking class ever was in Japan.
Oh, really?
And I went to somebody's home 22 years ago. Maybe 20. I can't remember how many. 20, 22 years. Many years ago. I can't remember. How old was the baby? I'm thinking about my friend's daughter. She's 21, 20. Yeah, I think about definitely 20 years ago, 21 years ago.
What did you learn?
We went to this. So she told me to go. So let's do a cooking. I'm like, what? A cooking class? Never in my life. At that point in time, I said I want to do a cooking class. It was never thought of that. So I went to a Japanese home, a small little apartment. Me, my friend, and 4 other ladies. We learned Japanese food. Some fish, some tofu, some vegetable. I don't remember the other dish, but and eggplant, or brinjal or aubergine, whatever you call it. Yeah, I remember that. We all cooked together and we sat down. We had a meal, and during that class, I was going, wow.
You had a wow moment.
Wow, and I kept saying the lady who was teaching. I was actually doing wow for her. It was more about her than me. I was like, wow for you, wow for you, wow for you.
So it was an exchange of wow.
Yeah, so I enjoyed it. Of course, I enjoyed it. But more than enjoy, I was thinking, wow, this lady has the best job in the world. I wish I could do what she was doing.
Like
that was a seed. So I always say Tokyo is a very special place for me. If it wasn't for Tokyo, I would not be here. You would not be here.
Really? It changed.
Oh, it was just Tokyo. Tokyo was it. There was nothing else. I swear to you, it was Tokyo. Because if it wasn't Tokyo, how would I have got the idea? Never. I don't.
How many years it was?
22 years ago.
22 years ago.
But 20 to 22 years. I don't think this will happen because that was it. And I was thinking, wow.
At the time, you're still working in like.
I was at a point where I was in between jobs. So I just finished my last job and I didn't know what I was going to do next. and I was just going around and I went to visit my friends.
So you were in a
in-between
in
thing.
between.
But it wasn't then yet. I didn't do that immediately. I did something else, right?
But you have a kind of...
Yeah, so I was another job after that. But it was just there. It was like, wow. I think it was just stuck there at the back somewhere. I didn't think about it much. Went on to normal life, had another job. Went on to that job, another job, 2 jobs. And then something else happened to push that straight out of my head. Something happened and that came out and it was time to do it. Actually, it was not one thing, it was a few things. Few things that happened that made me do that, to do a cooking class.
So usually a combination of factors makes people change.
It was a few things that pushed me to do my first cooking class.
Wow.
So it wasn't me,
Looks like
it
a movie.
was events. It was a group of events that pushed
usually
me.
it's never just one thing, that it's a mix of
but
things.
that first cooking class wasn't intended to be a career. It was just done
As a
for
hobby.
fun, for friends who said, we want to learn something from you, and I said, okay, I'll do a class. And then that first class was like...
You remember the really first one?
I remember it very well. Complete. I close my eyes, I see the place, I know the people who came. People came were my friends, by the way.
Okay.
All my
You
friends came.
Nervous?
And I remember the menu very well, and that was the moment, and then that was the moment when I said I can teach.
Oh, that realized empowering. I can do it.
Cook. No, not only can I cook, but I'm a good teacher.
Teacher.
That was the moment.
I love the academic part. I mean, I love this.
Yeah.
What
So
you're saying.
that was the moment, because a lot of people can do, but they cannot teach.
Sure. There are very extremely good people that cannot
Teach,
make other ones.
Yeah, you can be an excellent ceramic artist. You
But
cannot teach.
no.
You can be a great mathematician.
Most of them have no patience, have no methodology, have no
methodology.
attention.
That's the word. Mythology is an important thing.
I agree. For example, when now I love, but when I was young, I tried I was teaching my sister mathematics, and it was horrible. But later on, I learned how to deal with that.
Yeah.
But you're right. You need to be in the right mood, in the right feeling. You have to be a kind of psychologist to understand the other.
Yeah. And even in school, when you go to school, you have good teachers, not so good teachers. The good teachers are the ones that inspire you.
Yes.
They're not too teaching
Inspire.
you, like, you wonder, what is he going, what is he saying, what is she saying?
And I would add to make hardest thing easier instead of controlling.
Yeah.
Make simple things hard.
And fun.
And yes, and fun.
And
You have to remember
they
the
bring out the
experience.
interest, they pull out the interest from you.
Mm.
You know, they bring it out from you, and even if you're like you don't want to, they make it like,
Okay.
so,
That's the last question I would like to ask. Where you can see in a while, you apply, I mean, you like to continue this activity, or you have some plan? Maybe you I don't ask you to share, but you can see an evolution.
yeah,
of
I know.
this,
Everybody, a lot of my closest friends say, "What's your end game?" And I say, "I have no end game."
not end, but next. I would say next. What's next?
Okay, so I have no plans for restaurants, nothing. I don't have that. I just want to continue doing this. I have a new love in my life, which is pottery.
Oh, that's interesting. So I guess it's possible to combine.
Yeah,
some
so
of this.
I absolutely love pottery. It's my new love.
Can I book next pottery?
No, I'm not. I'm a student. I'm a student.
But it's an investment for future.
No, I'm a student. I think I'm going to be a student for many years. Pottery is not something you learn.
It
You need
takes
time.
time.
And I don't have the time to intensely practice.
Once a week, maybe?
Once a week, sometimes twice a week, sometimes once in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because it depends on my classes.
I think makes you happy.
It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy.
Relax.
So every time I have the time, I will run to the studio.
How you discovered this?
Oh, it was also by accident. I mean, okay, I always wanted to do pottery for many years. I always wanted, but I never found the teacher, never found the right time. Yeah, and when I did find something, but it had to stop because my teacher left. So this studio I found because I was there for some fair. And I said, hey, there's a studio here, a pottery studio. So I went in, I checked about it, and I signed up.
That's amazing because it sounds we are watching the beginning of a passion again. So
Yeah.
The
So
early
I
stage.
enjoy it. So I'm not good. I'm not good in pottery yet, but I love it. I enjoy it, and
That's the point.
I'm okay with it. To me, so if I do something wrong, I just say to myself, it's okay. I'm learning. Fine.
Fine. A good mood, good
Yeah,
spirit.
it's okay. I'm learning fine. So it hasn't this pottery is very interesting. Cooking used to make me a bit upset if I didn't come out with good. If it didn't come out good, I used to get upset. But pottery at the moment is not making. When it breaks, I just go, yeah, sure, it's okay.
I really enjoy how we handing up this because we see from a topic, a theme where you are very expert, from a topic where you are approaching.
Yes,
so I can see the same professionality, the same person, the same lady with a a method that is super familiar to you, one that you are studying, and it's very interesting to see this. So I'm curious to see in a while one of my next trip progress.
I have a few pieces there. This one is mine.
Yes, please.
This one is mine. This one is mine.
Let me.
I did this. Oh. I did this. So this one is hand built.
Can we show in the,
okay. This is hand built, but
so guys, this is just started.
This is hand building, but the one that I've done by on the wheel. So these are the not so good. These are cracked ones that crack, you know. So I'm learning to do this.
Because the easy crack stuff or not, you must. Oh.
It's a cat. Meow. This is a snail.
Snail and cat.
So this one this hand building. But I'm happier to the potter's wheel. I love the potter's wheel.
The activity.
Yeah, that's what I'm learning now. This one was my other class that I learned. This is where the teacher left. This is hand building. I enjoyed it very much, but I'm enjoying it even more with there's something very, very calming, very peaceful, very beautiful about pottery.
And I think it's like when you finish an artwork like this, brain release happiness because you're done. Probably.
I know. I don't know. To me, it's the process. To be honest,
the process is
it's the process. I love the making it. I love the making. Yes, the end is good, and it makes you feel. Yeah, it's nice.
Fantastic.
But it's the whole.
Fantastic, because again, you have to enjoy the journey, not the arrival.
So, I love it.
If I will meet, on contrary, one expert of pottery that is approaching to cooking, I will put you in contact so you can balance each other.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much. I really, in Italian, grazie mille, because I really enjoyed my day. I didn't know today it was like so super, so I try to spread in Italy this amazing art, because it's art.
It is art. Food is art. I like art, so
I can see, and I can see you can see as well when you try to go to Ruqxana. Thank you again. Grazie.
Thank you. Grazie.
Ciao.
Thank you.